What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I really like what the Pittsburgh Steelers did this offseason. They brought in some very, very good additions to that O-line, kind of rebuilt that a little bit to provide a better pocket for Kenny Pickett, make better running lanes for Najee Harris. The defense looks good as always. I want to kind of break down the depth chart, go down their schedule a little bit. This team just never goes under 500, and I think this is going to be another one of those years where they're just really solid again. How many wins do you think these Pittsburgh Steelers are going to get, and what are your expectations for the season? Are you expecting like playoffs? Are you expecting a playoff win? Kind of tell me where you're at before we get into it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But let's hop right into the offense. So none other at quarterback, you got year two Kenny Pickett, and he had some very, very good flashes as a rookie. Didn't blow me out of the water or anything like that, but he looked like he could be a franchise quarterback a lot of times. Led some game-winning drives, like kind of looked good under pressure, with a bad O-line too. So I think that at this point you're going to get a much better year two out of Kenny Pickett, which is kind of why I'm a little bit more optimistic on this team because, if you have a poor quarterback, it's kind of hard to get behind. But I like what Kenny could possibly do with what these weapons are and this rebuilt O-line. That's the most important part. You get Najee Harris now, who's been running behind garbage for a couple of years. Now he's got a solid line in front of him that knows how to run block and create some lanes. You're going to see a better version of Najee Harris, in my opinion. Jalen Warren behind him showed a lot of flashes last year. I think got a nice little, two-man running duo right there that could provide a lot of big plays, a lot of different things. And then the wide receiving, they got reliable Deontay Johnson who catches everything. Deontay has been a very, very quality receiver. Hopefully this year he gets in the end zone. He had so many catches last year without getting in the end zone. I think that's going to change this year. I expect a big bounce back in that term. You got quite possibly the most physical, violent receiver in the entire NFL in George Pickens. The dude is a highlight reel, and no matter what he's doing, it's going to catch a lot of attention. He's one of those dudes. He thinks he's the best on the planet. He carries himself like he's the best on the planet. And, it's really hard not to like the guy. You got a veteran like Allen Robinson as a wide receiver 3. I kind of like that. I think we could see some potential out of a guy like Calvin Austin. I think he's going to play a lot of special teams, but they could create some gadget plays for him. Small receiver, didn't really get to play it all last year. 5'9", 160 pounds, but the dude is lightning quick. So I think we could see something possibly come out of that. I do like the tight end duo that they're rocking with. Pat Freiermuth. That man has been super steady ever since he's got into this league. And then they drafted Darnell Washington. They got him at 4th string for some reason on this depth chart. But from what I've seen in camp, the dude's been absolutely unguardable. He's a freak of nature in terms of size and speed. So you get somebody that's as big as him in the open field, it's a big target for Kenny Pickett to throw at. And that's, you're giving him options here. But ultimately, why I really like this offense and this team particularly is what they did at the O-line, right? They added first-round pick Broderick Jones at left tackle. And they have him listed as the second-string guy right now. He's going to be the starting left tackle. I don't know why they have it this way. But Broderick Jones, they drafted him in the first round for a reason. Big dude. Going to protect Kenny Pickett's blind side for the next 10, 15 years, hopefully. And I like that. You're investing in protecting your quarterback and creating a better pocket around him. You bring in, a guy like Isaac Seumalo out of Philly who is a super, super good left guard. Like, that dude's steady as it comes. Very, very good run blocker. Can pass protect. I think you're going to get I love what they did on the left side because you just completely shored that whole thing up. And then you keep guys like Mason Cole, James Daniels, and then Okorafor. So you kind of, you kept some continuity on that side, but rebuilt the one side. I think that's going to be very, very beneficial. But the defense, anytime you're dealing with a Mike Tomlin team, the defense is going to be stout. And they've got so many playmakers on this defense. You have the best pass rusher in the NFL in TJ Watt. You have his co-star now who blew up last year, Alex Highsmith. You have a super savvy all-pro veteran in Cameron Hayward. They might have the best pass rushing trio in the entire NFL between Hayward, Watt, and Highsmith. Like, that is a nasty, nasty trio. Then you have a guy like Larry Ogunjobi, who's a year removed from that foot injury. Keanu Benton, second-round rookie this year, has looked really good in camp at your nose tackle spot. It's looking good. You got Montravius Adams behind him. DeMarvin Leal. Those guys can kind of, fill in the gaps. I like that. And then you get to the secondary. Linebackers are solid with Landon Roberts, Cole Holcomb, Marcus Golden. Quan Alexander, when he's healthy, is good. Like, they got a lot of different guys that can do different things there at the linebacking core. But the secondary, you got one of the best corners of all time in Patrick Peterson. Still got some juice left in the tank. I like what Patrick Peterson has, evolved into. He's still as steady as it comes. Wow, Levi Wallace can play some corner for you. He's going to be pretty solid. You got the rookie, Joey Porter Jr., who, I hate that the media does this, but they always show when the rookie's getting burned, and at least when they're defense. And he's guarding Deontay Johnson, George Pickett. These dudes are not easy to cover. So he's, they're only showing the bad side of him. But I think Joey Porter is going to be just fine. You got a guy like Patrick Peterson there to mentor him, help him along, figure out these rookie growing pains. I think you're going to be just fine. Then, of course, you have all-pro, all-star, all-elite, whatever you want to call him, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Dude is the dog on this defense. He's, you could make a very good argument he's the best player on this defense. Him and TJ Watt, that combo that they got in terms of star power out there, crazy. Minkah Fitzpatrick is at no further than the second best safety in the league. For me, it's between him and Derwin James. I'm a Chargers fan, so I rock with Derwin. That's just my bias. But you can say Minkah, cool. That's fine with me. The dude's amazing. So we got star power on offense. We got a promising quarterback. We got a revamped O-line. We got a defense that's always been solid, and they got a little bit better, in my opinion. You got more veteran presence. You're getting TJ Watt healthy again. This looks, on paper, team-wise, roster-wise, looks solid. Looks great. Looks like it can fight for a lot of wins. So let's talk about those wins in that schedule now. First game of the season, you get a juggernaut in the San Francisco 49ers. There's a lot of people that think this team is, the Niners are a Super Bowl contender, and that's rightfully so. I will say that I do think the Steelers do start the season out 0-1, losing to the Niners. But after that, it starts to change a little bit. I think they can beat the Cleveland Browns pretty solid on Monday Night Football in Week 2. I think they beat the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 3, so you're 2-1 right there. The Texans, I love C.J. Stroud, but it's gonna take a minute. I think they beat the Texans. That's 3-1. The Ravens one it's always tough. I think, spoiler alert, I think they're gonna split the season series with the Ravens. I'll say this Week 5 game at home, they'll win that one. I think they're 4-1. 4-1 going into your bye week. That's solid. Then you get the Rams, who I think are going to be pathetic this year. You're 5-1. The Jags look like they're going to be really good. I'm going to say the Jags steal this one. I'm going to say that puts you at 5-2. Titans, they don't even know what they're doing at quarterback. I don't know what the Titans are going to do. Derrick Henry's getting older. I don't see a lot of optimism on that side. So, beat the Titans, I think. And then you're going to play the Packers, who we don't know what Jordan Love can be. I'm more confident betting on the Steelers to win that game. So I take the Steelers there against the Packers. Then you have the Browns again. I would take the Steelers against the Browns in both games. I like the roster more. I like the talent more. I like the coaching more. That enough said. I think this game against the Bengals, though, is probably a loss. These games between the Bengals and Steelers are always a war. If you go back to last season of Minkah Fitzpatrick flipping off Jamar Chase, that just embodies the Steelers versus the Bengals. I love it. I think that the Bengals and the Steelers will split the season series as well. I think this game goes to the Bengals, though, and then I think they do rebound from that. I do think they absolutely obliterate the Cardinals, who are going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, in my opinion. The Patriots, Bill Belichick's teams are always competitive, but I'll take the Steelers over the Patriots in that game. The Colts, that seems like no one's really all that happy with the Colts right now. We don't know if their best player on offense is even going to be there this year, so rookie quarterback as well. I'll take the Steelers beating the Colts in that one. And then I do think, we get to these last 3 games here. It gets a little tough. Maybe beat the Bengals. I think that's going to be a split, though, so it could go either way. I think they lose to the Seahawks, though. I really like Seattle this year. I think Seattle's one of the more fun teams in the league. And then I do think they lose this game to the Ravens. So, I got a couple splits in the division with the Bengals and the Ravens. Ultimately, I think this team is like an 11-6 kind of team. I think that's a safe kind of margin where they're anywhere from 10 to 12 wins because they do have some very, very easy games in here, but that division is always tough. I could be wrong on the Browns games, but let me know in the comments which games you agree or disagree with. What do you think their record will be at the end of this season? I'm saying 11-6. I think them, the Ravens, and the Bengals are 3 teams that should make the playoffs, in my opinion. I think that's going to be a very, very fun race in that AFC North, as it always is. I like the Steelers, man. I like what this team has put together. I think it's going to be a lot of fun this year. Year 2, Kenny Pickett, revamped O-line. The defense is nasty. George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris. It's good. It's good in Pittsburgh. Anywho, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. Really, really appreciate it. But watch out for the Steelers this year. This team is never under 500, and this year is going to be more of the same, in my opinion. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of winnable games. Good year coming for the Steelers. All right, thanks for watching.